everyone, hope you're having a great day. My name is Miss Ari and I am coming to you from the Boys and Girls Club of San Marcos. As you all might know, we are starting a virtual program series where every day of the week we will be giving you a different activity that you can try at home. They should be things that you can do with things that you might find in your house, so you won't be needing a lot of supplies. And so today is our first Wellness Wednesday, and if some of you know me, you know that I'm really passionate about helping you guys work through any problems that you might have and express your feelings and emotions in a healthy way. And so I'm super excited to bring you a different topic each Wednesday. The first one that I have for you today is the topic of stress management. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. You will only need a couple of things. So first thing that you will need is one piece of paper. It can be lined, it can be blank. If you don't have any new paper lying around the house, you can use the back of something that you've already been writing or drawing on. The next thing that you're going to need is something to write or draw with. If you have markers, you can use as many colors as you'd like. If you only have a pencil or a pen, you'll only need one thing to write with. And the last thing that you're going to need is some sort of basket. If you have a trash can, you're welcome to use that. I have this little small basket because we're going to throw some things in our trash can. So those are the only three things that you'll need for this activity. And like I said, this topic is about stress management. So the first thing we'll talk about is what is stress? Well, stress is basically any change that happens to the body that causes some sort of adjustment that needs to happen. So there are different types of stress. There's good stress and there's bad stress. An example of good stress could be something that kind of challenges us or motivates us. So say, for example, we have a big test coming up. Maybe it's in math, which is our most challenging subject, but we work really hard, we study really hard, we're feeling nervous and kind of stressed about the test. But once we sit down and put our pencil to that paper, we realize that we've studied as much as we can, we do the best we can, and us, completing that test shows that we overcame that good stress. An example of bad stress might be something like if we feel unsafe, if we're experiencing any sort of bullying or something negative that's happening to us at school. That might be an example of some stress that is not good for our bodies. And in those cases, when we have some bad stress, we want to make sure that we have good coping skills. So healthy things that can help us overcome any stresses that might come our way. So one example of a coping skill that I'm going to give all of us today is what I like to call the stress airplane. And so there's gonna be a couple steps that we're gonna do to put this stress airplane together. And so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take out our piece of paper. We're gonna put it down on whatever flat surface that you're using. On this piece of paper, you can write, you can draw, anything that comes to mind that causes you stress. It can be stress that you're feeling in this moment. It can be stress that has kind of been building up throughout maybe the past couple weeks, especially in this really challenging time of COVID-19 when we're not in school, we're not seeing our teachers, our friends, our Boys and Girls Club family. It is very normal to have extra stress on top of what we might normally feel throughout a day that is more of our usual routine. So anything that might come to mind, what you're going to do is you're going to write that down on paper. At this point in the video, it might be a good time to pause so that you can stop listening to me and focus on what you're going to put onto paper. So take a second and do that, and feel free to unpause when you are done. Awesome. So if you're rejoining us, that means that you've taken your piece of paper and you have written with your markers, your pens, your pencils, some things that cause you stress. So I have done that on my piece of paper, and I'll just kind of share, a couple things that bring me stress. So something that's really on my mind right now is my family's health. My parents are 66, so they are in that age of the most vulnerable, as they're saying, on the news with relation to the coronavirus. So something that I have been thinking about a lot is my mom and dad, and just wanting to make sure that they're not going to the grocery store too much, and they're not interacting with people, so that they can keep their immune system strong and healthy. Something else that makes me stressed is I have a knee injury, so I haven't been able to exercise as much as I usually like to. For those who know me, they know that I love to run and I love to play soccer, and so sometimes having an injury brings me some stress because I can't do what I would usually love to do. So those are just a couple examples of what I wrote on my paper. But again, anything that you write, there is no wrong, there is no right answer, because all of us feel stress different at different times, to different levels. So anything that brings you stress, feel free to write it on this paper. The next thing that you're gonna do, we have two choices here. The first choice is you can turn your page of stress into a paper airplane, and I'll show you how to make the very basic of paper airplanes in a second. The next thing, or a next option that you could do if you don't know how to make a paper airplane, don't like my version of the paper airplane, or don't really want to, is you can just crumple this paper of stress into a ball, kind of like a small basketball or any type of ball that you'll throw. So those are your two options. If you do want to make a paper airplane, what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow along like this. So what you'll do is you're going to fold your paper in half the long way. So some of us call this the hot dog style. And if you'd like to have your words on the outside of the paper like I am, you can. Or if you'd like to fold them so that they're on the inside, that is fine too. Then you're going to fold up one corner of the front. The front can be either side. And you're gonna fold it kind of to make like a triangle type. So it's gonna reach the bottom front is gonna reach in to meet the middle crease of your page. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you're making another triangle, bringing the bottom to the front. So now you should have a small triangle at the front, and if you look at it from the sides, here's your base of your airplane, and it each has a fold. This is the most basic form of a paper airplane. The next thing, if you want, is you can fold down the tops of your side so that you make a little bit of like extra wings. And so here's your airplane, and you'll kind of give it a throw like that. Okay, so you either have your paper airplane or you've crumpled this into a ball, and so it looks like something that you can easily throw. The next and last part of this activity is you're gonna actually throw your ball or your paper airplane into that basket, that trash can, that bowl, whatever you had lying around the house. And this is what we call an active release. So active releases is a type of stress release activity where you make something and then you throw it, you associate some sort of action to the release of that stress. So in this case, we're throwing our ball or our paper airplane into the trash. So if I can do an example for you, I'm gonna put my trash can on this table, and I'm gonna stand up, and you can stand as far away to the trash can as you'd like, or as close. Remember, if you don't make it on the first try, that is more than fine, because sometimes it takes us 1 or 2 times to get rid of our stresses, and that is more than okay. So I'm gonna just take a couple steps away, and I'm gonna shoot my paper airplane, which didn't go in the trash can, but that's okay because we're gonna try again. And so I'm gonna shoot it again, and I made it, woo! Okay, so now my paper airplane is in my trash of stress. And feel free to, again, pause me at this time if you want to take a couple seconds to shoot your paper airplane or your ball of stress paper into your trash can. If you are competitive, maybe you see how far away you can get, that you can still make that basket or that throw. If you feel like this activity might work for someone else in your family, feel free to share it with them so that you can maybe compete and see who can make the most stress baskets in your trash can. There's lots of different games that you can play with this to again, focus on that active release of stress. But the one question I do want to ask once you have completed this activity and thrown the airplane or the ball into your trash can is, how do you feel? Did this active release activity, sort of, thinking through our stresses, writing them down, crumpling them up, or folding them into a shape and then throwing them in the trash, did that help our stress at all? My hope is that the answer is yes. If your answer is no, that is more than fine. Different coping skills work for different people, but this is just an idea of a simple activity that you can do at home to practice those healthy coping skills when we might feel overwhelmed or upset, especially with all that is going on in the world right now. So this is going to conclude our first Wellness Wednesday, but I will be coming to you guys every Wednesday with a different wellness themed activity. If you have ideas, please feel free to reach out to us through our social media or our Boys and Girls Club website for ideas not just related to wellness, but related to some of our other topics. We'll have some art themed videos, some sports themed videos, some Fun Friday, different challenge activity videos. And as you can see, I am in my pajamas because today is our pajama day. So I'm in my onesie. I have little monkey slippers on as well. And so this is the first week of our virtual programming, it is also our Spirit Week. So we hope that you're following along at home with our spirit themes. Coming up tomorrow, we have Crazy Hair Day. And on Friday, we're gonna have Boys and Girls Club Blue Day. So if you have any color blue at home, make sure to rep Boys and Girls Club, and feel free to share any pictures with us as well. We would love to see you following along and getting in the spirit. Just so you all know at home, your staff misses you so much. I miss you, all of the staff miss you, and we hope that you and your families are staying happy and healthy. And we can't wait to see you when Boys and Girls Club returns, but until then, please stay healthy, stay inside, and we will see you in our next video. Take care.